Hello, good morning and welcome to The United Stand, your latest Manchester United transfer news with that real fan opinion. Get involved. We're talking Verratti, Alderweireld, Gareth Bale, but we're also talking Willian, Martial, Milinkovic-Savic, Twan-Sebi, Harry Maguire, loads of players today, so don't really pay attention to the bottom too much. That's what she said. But, let's start off with Verratti. So, Verratti of PSG, midfielder, not been involved in the World Cup. Client of Mino Raiola. There's some little bits of talk around Manchester United again, like there was 6 weeks ago, that he may be looking to leave PSG and would he suit Manchester United. Torreira, who's gone to Arsenal from Sampdoria, Uruguay, played in the World Cup. If anyone saw them or anyone knows anything about him, he's a small midfielder, but he's very tenacious, goes and gets the ball and delivers it off. He was saying yesterday that he models his game on Verratti. So if you don't know what Verratti's all about, yes, he's small, but he's tenacious. He gets the ball, he tackles, he can dribble with the ball, he can move the ball well as well. I think he'd work very well at Manchester United because we need that sort of tenacious sort of midfielder. But as I said a few weeks ago, I don't. Apart from the Mino Raiola, and he's a really good midfielder and we need one, I don't see Manchester United doing this because I think Mourinho is so obsessed with having height in the team. He's just bought Fred, who's 5'6". Why would he go and buy Verratti, who's the same height as well? It's not what Mourinho really wants in his midfield when you look at what he did last season at Manchester United. And also, there is talk that Verratti is very close to signing a new 5-year contract at PSG. So I would really like him at United, but at this point in time, I don't think there's enough there. And also, a lot of the deals that Di Marzio picks up on from involving Manchester United tend to be, not all of them, but some of them, the Mino Raiola ones, he seems to be on very, very quickly. If you think about Mkhitaryan, you think about Pogba, you think about Lukaku, you think about Zlatan, all Mino Raiola clients at the time, and Di Marzio was very quick on all of those. So if we were in for Verratti, I think we might have heard a little bit from Mr. Di Marzio on that one, to be honest with you. Talking about Di Marzio, I'll just bring Milinkovic-Savic in here. We spoke about Milinkovic-Savic yesterday because there was talk of Manchester United beginning talks with him. Let's dispel a couple of rumours, actually. We'll talk Bale as well. So Milinkovic-Savic, Di Marzio has come out and said that George Mendes is working on a deal to take Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio to Real Madrid. Now, George Mendes is not Milinkovic-Savic's agent, but Mendes is almost like a super agent now. He swoops in and oversees deals. And it irritates the life out of me, really, that George Mendes, when we got Jose Mourinho, I remember doing a show on who's going to come to Manchester United, looking at all the clients George Mendes has, and we spoke about people like Ronaldo and Andre Gomez, James Rodriguez, to name a few. None of them's happened. We've signed not one George Mendes client. He's done great things at Wolves. He's done a lot of good things with Ronaldo, and now potentially he's doing a Milinkovic-Savic deal. But George Mendes doesn't do any deals for Manchester United, which is really odd considering De Gea is his client and Mourinho is his client. And it's almost as if there is an issue with him doing some deals with Manchester United. I don't know why, because it'd be great if he was working for us as well, because we could have got bloody Ronaldo for a start, but he might be working on a Milinkovic-Savic deal for us instead of Madrid. But it is what it is. Milinkovic-Savic, I can't see him staying at Lazio, so I think it's us or Madrid. And if Madrid want him, they'll probably get him, although they are rumoured to be going in heavily for Neymar for 250 million sterling. So, which brings me on to Gareth Bale. We did the video on Bale yesterday talking about Manchester United apparently in advanced talks with Real Madrid to get Bale from the Manchester Evening News. More or less straight after that, there was an article in Sport Witness saying that that's not the case at the moment. There is no talks. Then there was a Twitter account which is close to Real Madrid saying that there's no way they'll sell him. And then somebody from Bleacher Report saying that it could happen again. So I think with Bale at the moment, I'd be surprised if Real Madrid were to sell him. But I think that's only because a lot of us are going, well, why would they sell Bale and Ronaldo? But they've got a Spanish manager who's going to obviously champion Isco and Asensio, and they're clearly not just going to make do without Ronaldo. They're going to sign somebody. So maybe Bale could find himself in the same situation next season, which is maybe why, if they want to go for a Neymar, you get rid of Ronaldo and Bale, and you bring Neymar in with the funds that you get from that. So that could still be potentially a deal. Talking about a deal, Toby Alderweireld. I know a lot of you like Alderweireld. I do like him as well, but he is 29 this summer, and he would be very expensive from Spurs. I think Spurs are now starting to realise they've got to do a deal for him. The transfer window is coming to an end very soon, in about 3 or 4 weeks' time. And Alderweireld clearly wants to leave Spurs because he's not going to sign a new contract. And next summer he's available for 25 million. So they've got to do a deal. I think £50 million would probably do the deal for Alderweireld. Will Manchester United move for him? I think that Mourinho would like him, and I think for £50 million it might be agreeable. However, what I would say about Alderweireld is he has only played half of the last 2 seasons with injury. He is a good player. He is Premier League proven. But to be honest with you, I personally think that we'd probably get Harry Maguire for the same price from Leicester. And I'm not judging him on his England form, but what I did like about his England form is that he's good in the air, and United need to be a threat from set pieces. And Mourinho wants to be a threat from set pieces. Even if you go back to his Chelsea days, you'd have John Terry, who was always a threat from corners, and both of his centre-backs, to be fair. So I think Harry Maguire would suit us better. English as well, be around the same price as Alderweireld, and he's 4 years younger. And I don't think there's a hell of a lot of difference between the two players. Maguire can pass out from the back, as can Alderweireld. I don't think there's a lot between them. And I think, actually, what will probably happen, because this seems to happen with United, we'll buy the old coming to the end of their careers, and then Spurs will use the money to buy Harry Maguire, which is sort of like... And didn't work well for Chelsea, but they did that with Matic, didn't they? They get rid of the older player and they bring Bakayoko in for less money. And it didn't work well with that, but this is why I don't really want Willian. This is why I don't really want Alderweireld, because we're getting the older player. Let's go and get the player they're going to get when we get them. It should be the other way around. So I would rather have Harry Maguire. Give us your thoughts there. Who would you rather have, Alderweireld or Harry Maguire? We'll talk about Willian as well. Willian, there's a Sky Sports reporting yesterday that a second bid has gone in for Willian from Barcelona for 53 million quid. I think Willian would prefer Barcelona over Manchester United. I know he likes Mourinho, and I know Mourinho really likes him, but I think he'd prefer Barcelona because he's done the Premier League. He's won the Premier League. He's done the Premier League. Yes, you can go to Manchester United, but Barcelona, he's never played there. What an opportunity to go and do that. So I think that Willian probably, if this is true, would prefer Barcelona. And I'd be much happier than that. I'd be much happier with that. I mean, Willian at United, great, but it's short-termism again. And it's not really a deal that excites me, although it could be quite an efficient deal like Alderweireld. I think that we've got to think beyond the next year. We've got to be looking at the next 3 or 4 years because... brilliant scenario, Manchester United win the league, but what do we do the season after that with all these players who are 30? We've got to be looking beyond that, and I'd rather we were signing players around 25, to be honest with you. I think that would work out better for United. Just very quickly, there's something I just want to bring in here as well. Axel Twansibi. There was a lot of talk that he was going to go to Aston Villa on loan. And to be honest, reading a lot of the reaction on social media, there's a lot of Aston Villa fans who don't want him. They're saying, what does he give us? So Twansibi's loan at Villa from Christmas didn't go to plan, and maybe Villa's not the place for him, but I certainly think he does need a loan and to get his career back on track, because he is a young player we all think quite a lot of, and maybe going to Villa is not the right move for him, especially if there's a bit of dissent in relation to him there already. So I would be far happier if that doesn't happen. Also, just want to mention in relation to Alderweireld, the interesting angle around that was that Juventus signing Ronaldo more or less closes the door on them going for Martial, because it was always Juventus and Martial, wasn't it? That was always the deal that everyone expected if Martial was to leave. So that's door's shut. So I think Spurs, who've always been interested in Martial as well, there was a story in one of the London papers yesterday saying that Spurs are encouraged that they'd be willing to let Alderweireld go if it was part of a deal to get Anthony Martial. I mean, that's even worse. That would be even worse if we did something like that. But I do think Anthony Martial is an interesting option, an interesting situation, at Manchester United. Agent has said he wants to leave. New contract is the only way this is going to get resolved. Will he sign a new contract if Mourinho can't offer him any more than he did last season? So it's an interesting with Martial. And at the moment, as much as I love Martial, everyone will know that he's my favourite player at United. I think he's going to go. I think he will go. And whether we bring in a Gareth Bale or a Willian or an Alderweireld and he's part of those deals, I don't know. But I just think that at the moment, Mourinho's got to move from a position of dropping him and hardly playing him to playing him regularly to get Martial to stay. And I don't know whether Jose will do that. As much as I wish he would, I don't know whether he will do or not. But I mean, we can't be giving him to Spurs. That cannot happen. We just can't do that. And interestingly as well, Jose Mourinho is going to be starting to talk to the press next week. We're going on the US tour on Sunday. and as part of that, he's going to start being interviewed by the media for some of the games, and he might try and avoid questions about transfers. He might refuse to answer questions about transfers, but that would be remiss of him. So we could get some interesting quotes from Mourinho next week around. He might even get asked why we didn't go for Ronaldo, but he should certainly get asked about the situation with Martial. He has been in Manchester training with the players, so he will have come into contact with Martial. Be interesting to be a fly on the wall on what's going on with that, certainly, wouldn't it? But give us your thoughts then. Would you welcome Verratti at Manchester United? Do you think he's the midfielder we need? Do you think we need a midfielder? Alderweireld or Harry Maguire? That's the big one today. Which one would you go for and why? Gareth Bale, what are your thoughts on that? If it was at the expense of Martial, would you do the deal? And Willian, Barcelona, do you think we should be competing with Barcelona, or are you happy that Barcelona are going for him as well? Lots and lots for you to discuss. Make sure you drop a like on the video. We have got a video coming up for you at lunchtime as well. If there's not any Manchester United transfer news today, I've got a video that I filmed yesterday, meant to go up yesterday, but the Bale thing hit. So that's coming up as well. Drop a like. Give us your comments below. Really going to look forward to read some of those, especially the Alderweireld and Maguire thing. I'd go Maguire for the reasons stated. And it's 8 o'clock again tonight. No World Cup games at the moment. In fact, they're nearly all gone. So pretty much 8 o'clock. In fact, we are 8 o'clock every night now. There's no game that's going to be a 7 o'clock kickoff. So we're 8 o'clock every night again now. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all soon.